Challenger 3. Challenger 3. Challenger 3, CR3, is a planned fourth-generation British main battle tank in development for the British Army. It will be produced by conversion of existing Challenger 2 tanks by the British/German Rheinmetall BAE Systems Land joint venture. Improvements to Challenger 2 began in 2005 as the Capability Sustainment Programme, CSP, to keep the Challenger 2 competitive until the 2030s. Lack of funding meant that it wasn't until 2014 that the program was formally reorganized into the Challenger 2 Life Extension Program, LEP. In response to the LEP program, 2 prototypes were submitted for evaluation, one from BAE Systems in 2018 and the other from Rheinmetall in 2019. Later that year, BAE and Rheinmetall merged their British operations into Rheinmetall BAE Systems Land, RBSL, effectively leaving Rheinmetall's proposal the only option available without replacing the Challenger 2 fleet with non-indigenous models. The Challenger 3 has an all-new turret with an improved hull. The most significant change from Challenger 2 to Challenger 3 is the replacement of the Challenger's main armament from a 120mm L30-01 rifled main gun to the 120mm L55-01 smoothbore gun, which itself is an upgraded version of the L55 fitted to the Leopard 2A6/A7 family of main battle tanks, giving commonality with other NATO members. History. The Challenger 3 will be the fourth tank of this name, the first being the World War II cruiser Mk8 Challenger, which was developed from the Cromwell tank chassis and armed with an Ordnance QF 17-pounder. The second was the Gulf War-era Challenger 1, which was the British Army's main battle tank, MBT, from the early 1980s to the mid-1990s, when it was succeeded by the Challenger 2, which saw action following the Iraq War in 2003. In 2005, the MOD recognized a need for a Capability Sustainment Programme, CSP, to extend the service life of the Challenger 2 into the mid-2030s and upgrade its mobility, lethality, and survivability. The CSP was planned to be complete by 2020 and was to combine all the upgrades from CLIP, including the fitting of a 120mm smoothbore gun. By 2014, the CSP program had been replaced by the Life Extension Program, LEP, which shared a similar scope of replacing obsolete components and extending the tank's service life from 2025 to 2035. However, the 120mm smoothbore gun had seemingly been abandoned. In 2015, the British Army provided an insight into the scope of the LEP, dividing it into 4 key areas, namely surveillance and target acquisition, upgrades to the commander's primary site and gunner's primary site, as well as the replacement of the thermal observation and gunnery sites, TOGs, with third-generation thermal imaging. Weapon control system, upgrades to the fire control computer, fire control panel and gun processing unit. Mobility, upgrades including third-generation hydrogas suspension, improved air filtration, CV-12 common rail fuel injection, transmission and cooling. Electronic architecture, upgrades to the gunner's control handles, video distribution architecture, generic vehicle architecture compliant interfaces, increased onboard processing and improved human-machine interface. The MOD also began assessing active protection systems, APS, on the Challenger 2, including MUS and Rheinmetall's ROSI rapid obscurant system. In August 2016, the MOD awarded assessment phase contracts to several companies for the Life Extension Program. These included Team Challenger 2, a consortium led by BAE Systems and including General Dynamics UK, CMI Defence and Ricardo plc, Rheinmetall and Lockheed Martin UK. In November, the MOD shortlisted 2 teams led by BAE Systems and Rheinmetall to compete for the LEP, which was then estimated to be worth £650 million, $802 million. In October 2018, BAE Systems unveiled its proposed Challenger 2 LEP technology demonstrator, the Black Knight. The new improvements included a Safran Paseo commander's sight, Leonardo Thermal Imager for the gunner and Leonardo DNVS-4 night sight. The turret also received modifications to improve the speed of traverse and to provide greater space as well as regenerative braking to generate and store power. Other enhancements included a laser warning system and an active protection system. In January 2019, Rheinmetall unveiled its proposal, which included the development of a completely new turret with fully digital electronic architecture, day and night sights for the commander and gunner, and a Rheinmetall L55 120mm smoothbore gun. Whilst a more substantial upgrade than Black Knight, the turret was developed on Rheinmetall's initiative and was not funded by the UK mod, nor was it part of the mod's LEP requirements. In June 2019, BAE Systems and Rheinmetall formed a joint venture company, based in the UK, named Rheinmetall BAE Systems Land, RBSL. Despite the merger, the company was still expected to present two separate proposals for the LEP contract. At DSEI 2019, RBSL first showed the 120mm proposal. In July 2020, Rheinmetall Defence showed a testbed vehicle on the Challenger 2 chassis, with a brand new turret, auto-loading system and a powerful 130mm smoothbore gun, the Rheinmetall RH130L/51. The 130mm L/51 is 500 kilograms heavier than existing 120mm L/44 or L/55 cannons and would require a larger turret to work on the Challenger 3. In October 2020, the mod argued against buying a new main battle tank from overseas instead of pursuing the Challenger 2 LEP, stating that an upgraded Challenger 2 would be comparable, and in certain areas superior, to Leopard 2 or M1 Abrams. The management of the C2 LEP was scathingly criticized by the Defense Select Committee on March 15, 2021. They said in a report entitled Obsolescent and Outgunned, the British Army's armoured vehicle capability, that despite having spent around 50% of the allocated budget, £800 million, the program has yet to place a manufacturing contract. The program has a current in-service date of 2024, originally planned for 2017. And is some £227 million over budget. After a decade of effort, this abject failure to deliver against both cost, with an overrun now totaling over £250 million of public money, and timescale, ISD 7 years late, is clearly totally unacceptable. Nevertheless, it is symptomatic of the extremely weak management of Army equipment programs, by both Defense Equipment and Support and the Army Board itself, in recent years. On March 22, 2021, Ben Wallace published the command paper, Defense in a Competitive Age, which confirmed the British Army's plans to upgrade 148 Challenger 2 tanks for around £1.3 billion and designate them Challenger 3. The mod confirmed the contract with RBSL had been signed, valued at £800 million, $1 billion, on May 7, 2021. Rheinmetall's more extensive upgrade proposal, including the new 120mm smoothbore gun, had been accepted. The initial operating capability for the upgraded tanks is expected by 2027, with full operation capability expected to be declared by 2030.